Alrighty, let's talk about creating your workout plans. I am a personal trainer. I gained my certification through NASM, which is short for National Academy of Sports Medicine. So, I got my certification in personal training and nutrition. So, I will be able to give you all the information that you need to bulk, put size, cut, lose weight, and maintain your stamina. If you are more interested in other sort of exercises, I'll try to help, but this is what I'm good at. This is what I'm going to give you. So let's pull this up. Alrighty. So generic information. Let's say, for an example, my weight is 200 pounds. My TDEE, which is short for total daily energy expenditure, is 2,000 calories. That's basically how much my body burns on a daily. Not really my body, but just for an example. So we have these credentials, and we want, let's say, your goal is to put size, to bulk up. I need to put weight. I need to gain weight because I'm too small. I need to gain muscles. There are multiple things you need to do. First one is have a calorie surplus between 500 as a starting to 1000 calories. That's my recommendation. That's the recommendation for most personal trainers. So if my TDEE is 2000 calories, for me to put on weight over the amount of time that I need to add 500 calories a day or 1000 calories a day. So I'd be eating essentially 2500 calories. For me to put on size, to put on muscles and not fats, I need to load my body with more resistance, which is also called progressive overload. So, for example, if I'm doing a dumbbell bench press, I start with 35 pounds. I do them, and then the next day, and then the next chest workout, I feel good, so I'm going to do 35 pounds. And then the next workout, I'm going to do 40 pounds, so far and so on. You keep progressive overloading your muscles to stimulate more growth. Because what you're essentially doing, you're going to the gym, you're breaking down your muscles through working out, and the harder the workouts, the more breakdown of muscles fibers there is. So you put more weight, and then the next workout, put more weight, next workout, put more weight. And you need, in order for the recovery best to happen, you need to eat more protein. So on average, if you're a consistent lifter, you need about 0.8 grams. You need to multiply your weight by 0.8. So if I'm 200 pounds, I need to multiply that by zero point 0.8. Let's do the math real quick. So 200 times 0.8. So I need roughly about 160 grams of protein a day for me to essentially put on good muscles. Walking is not essential when you're trying to bulk. It's good for your health, obviously, but I don't normally walk or tell my clients to do a lot of walking when it comes to putting on size because you don't need to. So that's bulking, putting size on. Let's go to cutting weight. So right now for the next 12 weeks, you're like, all right, I need to lose weight, man. I'm 200 pounds. I need to go down to 180 pounds. Essentially, what I do, very simple: 2,000 calories minus 500 to 1,000 calories. I would suggest first starting with 500 calories. Fun fact: a pound of fats has 3,500 calories roughly. So if you do 500 calorie deficit, so if you start eating 1,500 calories for 1 week, you're going to be losing a pound to a pound and a half of fats a week. So go on a calorie deficit. If you have 2,000 calories TDEE, subtract by 500, and then the more you get used to it, the more the weeks go by and you feel more comfortable doing more, then you can decrease it to 1,000 calorie deficit. I don't recommend this starting with because it's actually harsh and it's going to give you cravings. So I typically tell my clients just 500 calorie deficit. Now for the weights, this is important. You need to keep the weights challenging, but I don't want you to exaggerate with your workouts. I don't want you to go balls out every single time till failure with your workouts, because that's just going to make your cut even harder. Again, your goal when in a cutting phase, not to put on muscles. You can still put on muscles, but I would do not suggest it. You can still put on muscles while on a cut, but I do not suggest it. You need to focus on one thing, especially when you're beginning stages. So I would say keep your challenge workout level like 70%. 70% of your maximum power. If you're able to lift up 100-pound dumbbells, just do 70-pound dumbbells for the workouts. You still need to eat more protein. Same thing with this. As a matter of fact, when cutting weight, most of your calories should come from should come from protein. I would say instead of 160, eat 180 grams of protein. At that point, you might need to eat a little more chicken, maybe have a protein shake by the end of the day, whatever it is to increase your protein intake, because that's going to keep you more satiated than if you eat less protein. And then last but not least, I highly recommend walking. It's not essential, but it really helps with your cutting. Walking 30 minutes on a flat surface on average burns about 100 to 150 calories. If you want to increase that, I would highly suggest what I tell my clients: you walk 30 minutes on an inclined treadmill if you don't like walking outdoors. If you like walking outdoors, then just go for a hike with a little steepness to it. Do 30 minutes. That's going to burn you 250 upwards of 350 calories. So imagine 500 calorie deficit plus the 250 calories. You're giving yourself 750 calorie deficit just by walking an extra 30 minutes a day. So I highly recommend walking on a cut. Now let's jump to stamina. Now stamina goes hand in hand with both. If you're a person who's really into increasing your stamina, you want to be more proficient with your workouts. You want to be able to run for longer times, to run for longer periods. Definitely increase your cardio, especially your running and sprinting. Again, here in a bulking, I suggest not to walk or do any sort of cardio. You can, but it's not an essential point. When you're cutting, I recommend not to run or sprint because that's going to lose you muscles. What I recommend is walking slowly. For stamina, for increasing your stamina, this is why it's very important to maintain or know your goal. For increasing your stamina, you need to do more sprinting, more running. You need to keep your heart rate pumping. If you want to find out what your maximum heart beats per minute, you subtract 220 minus your age. For example, let's say I'm 25 years old. I'm not, but let's just say that. So 220 minus 25, then my maximum beats per minute for my body, my maximum O2 is 195 beats per minute. So if you want to increase your stamina, you need to keep your heart rate pumping up to 195. Not always, just increments, intervals. So that is going to increase your stamina. Progressive overload when it comes to running. The first time you do running, you're able to run a mile in a minute, let's just say. Start challenging yourself to do it in 55 seconds. The next time you do running, try to do it in 50 seconds. So keep progressive overloading your sprinting. And last but not least, this is a given, but anything that affects your lungs, you need to stop and quit, and your body functions. So quit smoking if you're smoking. If you're smoking for nicotine, I don't recommend smoking or nicotine at all. But if you are so in tune with nicotine addiction, I would say substitute smoking with nicotine patches, for example. Drinking is a big deal in everything over here. Drinking slows your metabolism by a lot, especially that it needs, like, your body works first off to burn off the carbs that you drink if you drink a lot of beer. And second off, your liver is calling for help because you're already consuming a lot of proteins that's making your liver work. And then you're consuming a lot of drinking and beer and alcohol that's also going to put more load that's unnecessary for your body. So I'd say limit drinking and definitely limit smoking. If possible, substitute it with nicotine patches, if that's possible, or gums. So this is essentially it. This is essentially the plan that you need to do. If you need to lose weight, go on a cut, go on a calorie deficit, eat more. Definitely in all of them, sleep. You need a lot of good sleep for recovery. Doctors recommend 6 to 8 hours. I know some people like to stay up late, some people like to wake up early. So, whatever it is, even if you have to include naps in your days, try to sleep as much as possible. Preferably more than 6 hours. The more sleep, the better. In the next episode, I will be talking about the nutrition essentials, what you need to eat or drink during those workouts.